Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Amrita and I know it's been a while since I last uploaded. It's been one hell of a hot minute because the past few months have been let's be real, it's been wild. It's been crazy because college has been super hectic. I started my new program. Assignments have been a little here and there. They are way more complicated than what my earlier program had because okay, we'll get into that later, but in general there have been a lot of emotional ups and downs, and in general the whole shebang of living alone. It's been one hell of a journey. So for today I'm just not gonna speak about how we are going around in Toronto because there are much better videos that are done in a way better manner that you can watch on YouTube. So I would just today want to give you nothing but like a real talk about life in Toronto because it's been a year since I came here. It's almost been a year. So I'm not gonna be sugarcoating it, but just like the real deal. Initially, when I came here, everything was a thrill. It was a new country, there were new experiences, and I was buzzing with positivity. I know positivity and some winter don't really go hand in hand because it's kind of gloomy and sad and cold and chilly in winters, but to be honest, for me the first snowfall was so magical. I loved it and also hated it a few days later when I had to stand in the bus stop, but never mind. My emotional battery when I came in was like at 100%. It was fueled by the love of my family and friends whom I just said goodbye to. So the first 4 months was smooth sailing. But shortly after that, it was a little all over the place. And shortly after that, things started getting a little all over the place because my emotional battery kind of started draining down. I barely had the time to chat with my family, and when I did not want to unload my troubles or my not so good moments of the day or the week. All I wanted to talk about was the positive sides of it because that's how I wanted to that's what I wanted to remind myself as well. It was kind of like real life adulting happened after I came here when I had to plan my groceries and like think about every tiny thing in my day because I was the one planning it and I was the one doing it as well. And finally, of course, there was one point where I was just out of it and I called my mom and I just broke down to her, explained everything, told her everything that was going on, how I was feeling, I was missing them. And it's not anything about this place or this country. Anybody who's living away from their family, I feel is bound to feel that way at a certain point of time. So that's exactly what happened to me. I am kind of lucky and I'm kind of happy that it happened way later after I moved over here, because if it would have happened immediately, I would not have had such a great start to this journey. But because it happened a little later, and by the time that this happened, I had made some really great friends who actually cared about me, who were there for me. So it was a lot easier for me to deal with it, kind of, switch off, try to distract myself, because there was no other way to get around it. And like I said, eventually, after I spoke to my mom, after I spoke to my friends, oddly enough, everything started to look up because I was not letting my thoughts out. I was not speaking about it for the longest time, and I was trying to hide it or like hold it in to deal with it myself because somewhere I knew what they are going to say and I did not want to hear it. This happens a lot of times when you know what your mom is going to say to this and you already know about it and don't want to hear it from her. So that made me hold back my feelings for a really long time, but eventually I felt like it was all bottled up and it was not taking me anywhere. So I just decided I want to speak up and not necessarily seek for guidance, but just to let your mind breathe, just let it out and get it over with. And I also realized that the whole point of, I'm kind of switching topics here, but I just want to mention it over here, that the whole point of the fact that people promote journaling so much and they think that it helps train their mind a certain way is mostly because you put everything down on a paper, in a notebook. You look at it from third person's perspective when you're reading your notes, when you're reading your journal. It kind of gives you a perspective, a different perspective towards all the things that are going on in your daily life. So letting it out was like the most important thing that I realized that a lot of people may not be doing, and I'm so glad that I did it when I did it, because it was right before my birthday, and I was so sad that I'm not gonna have my family with me on my birthday. And then I was feeling all of these things, and then I emotionally kind of got better after I spoke about it. So now on to the bright side of living alone. Independence hit me differently here. I always used to think that independence was not having to ask my mom if I can go out to a certain place, or if I go out and stay over to a certain friend's house. Here it's a choice. It's either use it wisely or go off the rails, because if you make one wrong decision, it could lead to something really not favorable. It could get ugly. And if you realize that at the right point of time, and if, like, for me, I feel like earlier when I was living with my parents, like I said, that the definition of independence was that. After I came here, independence was not something that I sought. What I liked was taking my own decisions the way I want them. And as long as you do that, I think it's gonna keep you on the good side of it, and like prevent you from not going off the rails. Just, I lucked out with the friends that I have, who keep me sane and who genuinely care. Because choosing your tribe is crucial when you're away from home, because these people make the people that you are with, the people that you seek inspiration from. Because in the end, when you spend so much time with a certain set of people, you kind of adapt to a certain things that they do, or that they like, or the way they think. It kind of changes the way you look at things. So choosing your tribe is extremely crucial when you're away from home. Shout out to all my girls, not just over here, but Purti, Nupur, you, like, if you're following me on Instagram, you know all of them, because I make so many reels. Tushita, who was here with me for the longest time, who was my home away from home. Like, all of these friends that I have had all my life, as well as the friends, like the girlfriends I made after I came here. I feel female friendships are just, they are the most important part of a woman's life, because they make or break you. It's important to invest in those genuine connections, because it's totally worth it. And it's just been incredible to have met so many new people. And even like Shraddha, who planned this whole day in Toronto, who did everything on her own. Like, she was just like, I'm gonna give you a surprise, you're not gonna ask me where we are going next, I'm just gonna take you. And the way the whole day went, it was so wholesome and so nice. And this happened right before I started my second program, and right before life got 10 times more hectic as to what it was before. So this was the best break I could go out for the whole day. I got a tan from this, but like, whatever, that's just sometimes sunscreens don't work. Anyway, I'm not making sense anymore, but this was just a beautiful day. We went on a Taylor Swift night after this lunch that we had. It was a late lunch, it was around 5 o'clock, and then we took the road, took the streetcar, and we went to this Taylor Swift night that we had got tickets for. We made these super cool bracelets that you'll just see. But I also want to speak about Taylor Swift for a good amount of time, because she has been one hell of a companion in this whole journey. So before we wrap up, there's this incredibly special thing that I have never given importance for until today. Over the past year, as I navigated through all of these highs and lows of living alone, figuring it out on my own, there were two constants that brought me immense comfort. One was Taylor Swift, and the other were these two Netflix series that I binge watch when I am feeling extremely down, or when I'm feeling a little weak emotionally. Because Taylor Swift's music, Taylor Swift, everyone, the queen of relatable music, she has been a best friend and a constant since forever. Her songs have this magical way of capturing every emotion I've ever felt, whether it's the whole thing about new beginnings and heart-wrenching pain of goodbyes. There's a Taylor Swift song for every situation. It's as if she's narrating my life through her melodies, reminding me that I'm not alone in what I'm feeling. In her music, there is some sort of strength that everyone kind of seeks and gains. It's a profound sense of understanding that these emotions are something that every girl goes through, or every girl or guy, whoever, everyone who is in a certain situation has felt something close to that. And I don't think I'm making sense anymore, but what I mean to say is my interpretation of her lyrics a lot of times is not the way she actually intends it, because for me those things are a bit different, because I have had a different set of experiences in my life, and I relate to her lyrics for those, in the context of those experiences. So it's different for everybody, and that brings me to the next series that I'm talking about, which is Schitt's Creek. I feel like it's so heartwarming. The humor, their characters, they all have a unique way of uplifting our spirits. Even on my lowest days, I would watch a Schitt's Creek episode and I would just, in 20 minutes, I'm fixed. It's just so calming. And the other one is, of course, Gilmore Girls. I never watched it or watched it episode after episode. I used to just watch one episode here and there and just move on to something else that was more exciting and interesting. But after coming here, having an every night, every morning routine, watching it while I'm having my meals, it's all kind of a set, it's a routine, how you have lunch or dinner with your family. It kind of became like that for me after I was done watching Schitt's Creek for 10 times in a run. And if you ever feel alone, you just know that there are some things that you have that will be specific to you, that are so close to your heart. And I just want to urge you to go for it and take your time to figure out what gives you comfort, because if you don't, it's just gonna be you're gonna be way more confused, and I feel like nobody can help us the way we need with any kind of advice that they can provide. So whether you find comfort in your favorite melodies, artists, or whatever, or any TV show that you like, just embrace those moments, because they will make sure that you don't feel alone. But that brings me to the end of this vlog and this whole emotional rant that I did for the past 15 minutes. But thank you so much for sticking with me and for joining me today. I hope you found something meaningful, and I hope you found something relatable if you have ever moved out of your house or your hometown, or if you're planning to. This was just a real talk, emotional real talk. And I am so glad that I have a few updates, but I don't want to give them right now, because I have shot some really fun videos, and I am definitely uploading them in the month of November and in the month of December. They are they are my campus tours. I have shot so much. I have bought a new desk setup, and I've done a lot of fun things that I have shot, but I have not ended up editing it. So I promise you, I'm doing it in November and December. So please, that's the reason I'm saying in November and December is because it was my year's goal to finish all the videos I've shot in this year and start afresh from January 2024. So I am going to make sure I upload them in these 2 months. So if you haven't subscribed already, please go ahead and do it. And I'll see you in my next video. Until then, take care and I'll see you soon.